Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And today we have 5 brand new decks for you, including 3 awesome decks with Penny Parker. But we got our hands on the number 6 ranked deck in Marvel Snap, or at least the number 6 ranked players deck in Marvel Snap, and it's really cool and really different. It's going to be one of literally 3 of the 5 decks today run Wiccan. This is your warning. Wiccan is extremely hot right now, largely thanks to the release of the new season pass card Galacta, because the 2 cards work extremely well together. Wiccan also works really well with Penny Parker, and it is all over the top of the Infinite leaderboard. Good stuff in Marvel Snap. The general good mid-range deck is largely a Wiccan shell at this point. Usually a Wiccan Galacta shell, but as we'll see, not always. This deck is from Sandrokan, who's a major tournament player who usually doesn't really compete at the top end of the ladder. However, he's doing so well with this list that he is rank number 6 currently. It's a very cool list that has a lot of very interesting ideas in it. In particular, I think Snow Guard is genuinely brilliant here as a way to turn Domino into a card instead of Quicksilver. We often see Quicksilver in these decks, right? But Snow Guard says I can turn Domino into a card that lets me get my Wiccan out more easily, which works really well, right? Domino does one thing in particular in the deck outside of giving you a 2-drop, is she makes it more likely for you to see your 1-drops. And if you see Snow Guard, now you have the exact curve for getting your Wiccan or Galact out early. You still have to draw them, but you want to get them out early. Zabu also with Domino, if you go Zabu, Domino, and then you draw either Wiccan or Galacta, you accomplish the exact same thing. So this is a genuinely brilliant idea from Sandrokan, and I wanted to make sure to share it. You can find Sandrokan at twitter.com/Sandrokan26. This deck needs Zabu, Wiccan, Galacta, and Alioth. Red Hulk can be Magneto. Hydra Bob can be Iceman or Silver Sable. Speed and Copycat can be Juggernaut, Gladiator, Red Guardian, whatever good 3 you want to play on curve. And Scarlet Spider can be Sinister. Sinister after a Galacta plays as a 2/10. We also notably want to say, if you don't have Zabu, there is a bundle in the shop that gives you access to Zabu. We're going to review that before the end of this video. Cool? That should cover most of it for the time being. What you want to do with this list is Zabu is more or less equal to Snowguard. If you don't have a 3, you're going to have to read the board in order to figure out what to do. I have the feeling that Snowguard might be right in these situations, but there's times when I would try and high roll into Zabu. Those are better than Bob, unless you already have a 3, right? If you already have a 3, I guess you could play Bob, but you'd really rather get Zabu out unless all your 4s are in hand. Turn 2, you want Domino. That's the only card you can play on turn 2. There are times when you get the annoying extra energy thing and you're going to have to play a 3-drop. So be it. That's yet another reason to play Snow Guard in this matchup on turn 1. Turn 3, Galacta is more or less equal to Wiccan, is better than Speed, is better than Snow Guard. Getting Galacta out and then being able to Galacta into Wiccan is perfectly fine, because if you get Wiccan out on turn 3, you don't you're giving up an extra Galacta trigger, basically. So getting that extra 3 power from Galacta is often better, but you're going to have to determine that. So that's better than Speed or Snow Guard 3. Turn 4, Wiccan over Galacta. Now in turn 4, because you can't play Galacta and immediately trigger her, you would much rather get Wiccan out, because then you can play Galacta and another card on turn 5. You would have 7 energy on turn 5, so you could play Galacta and a 3-drop, a Copycat or a Speed, or again, a Snow Guard card. However, sometimes you know that you don't have any of that stuff in hand, and you know you're going to want to play Scarlet Spider immediately, and at that point you would rather play Galacta. So it is complicated and goes back and forth. If you can play Scarlet Spider and Copycat or Speed after a Wiccan, you're in great shape, especially if you got Galacta out on turn 3. If you played Wiccan, your other option is you can just play Alioth or Red Hulk. Turn 6 is just Alioth or Red Hulk plus and plus whatever you can. In this case, this is often a 1-drop or the turn that Bob gets played. This list is extremely powerful. I wanted to make sure that I showed this Wiccan list today, not because I'm trying to overrun you with Wiccan, but because a lot of the decks that run Wiccan right now are going to be Penny Parker decks. I wanted to make sure that we had one of those that didn't play Penny Parker so that we could ensure to show you that we have powerful things to do all along the curve of Marvel Snap with different cards. We're going to talk about the Wiccan that Devil Dinosaur brought back next, but first let's take one last look at this. This deck is genuinely brilliant. The Snow Guard into Domino thing is a genuine innovation that I think is brilliant, so props to Centricon for that. And if you're willing to hit that sub button, it would mean a lot to us. We're trying to hit 16,000 subs by the end of the year. We're about 200 away and we have about 3 weeks to go. So we need your help if we're going to get to 16,000. Please hit that sub button if you're willing. We give you 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. There was a patch yesterday. We did 2 videos. There was a big controversy on Monday. We did 2 videos. We're gonna do 10 videos because there's an OTA Thursday this week. We cover more Marvel Snap than anyone and give you at least 3 new decks every single day. Please hit that sub button. Liking and commenting help us if you find value, get shown to more people. So if you're willing, please do that. And they also enter you to win Galacta. Later this video, I ask a question. As long as you're subbed, you're entered to win a Galacta. We're giving away one this week. All right, Ika, shock of shocks. It's Ika. Ika's back. He figured out how to make an Ika Dino Peni Parker list. The real brilliance of this is realizing that, I mean, there's like 5 different things. Okay, so Peni Parker puts a card in your hand. Kate Bishop puts a card in your hand. So we're immediately saying we've got extra cards in hand for Devil Dinosaur. These decks often run Cable. Cable is an extra card in hand. Awesome. We need 3 drops, and it's hard to find Series 3 3 drops. Okay, how about Agent Coulson? That's 2 more cards in your hand. So far, so good. We've got a really good shot at filling your hand. We've also got the Quicksilver into Hawkeye and Penny thing that makes Wiccan really easy to pull off. When we can pull that off, we can now play Devil Dinosaur and Mystique on the last turn of the game. Just fine. No problems there, right? Or we can play Gore early, and then we can go Mystique and other cards on turn 5. Or we can go Mystique and even Devil Dino on turn 6, right? Oh, just the sheer amount of variability and power you get out of adding the Devil Dino package to the Wiccan package is insane. I can't believe we haven't thought of this. This is so cool. Props to Ika. Penny really pushed us in a cool direction. I played this list on stream last night, Pulse Glazer on Twitch, and this is one of the 2 lists that are Wiccan lists that felt the best to me, and this is so different from anything we've done with Wiccan before. So you can find Ika streaming at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. This deck does need 2 high series cards, technically 3 high series cards. You need Wiccan Goliath, but Kate or Penny can be Mirage. Cool. You need either Kate or Penny. I wouldn't play this without both. I think I think Penny's better than Kate in this right now, but you do need one of them. Copycat can be Speed, Gladiator, Red Guardian, Luke, whatever good 3 you want. We have a weird problem with 3 drops in Marvel Snap that almost every generically good 3 drop is a Series 5 or 6 card. Sorry, Series 5 or 6. Let's not give them ideas. Series 4 or 5 card. That makes it a little bit rough. So you're looking at a card that like Speed, Gladiator, Red Guardian, which is high series, unfortunately. You can try like a Luke, a Cosmo, a Juggernaut there, but you want to play it on curve, and none of those are really great on curve. The great 3s on curve, outside of Luke, really are higher series cards. So you need to pick a couple. It doesn't super matter which 2 you run. Something like Gladiator is Series 4 and in Spotlight right now, and just have access to them to make your deck building far easier. Gore can be Red Hulk or Magneto. Gore is really good here because you have a lot of on reveals, and it gives you the extra value from the Mystique. But if push comes to shove, you can cut it for Red Hulk or Magneto. All right, so this is my favorite Wiccan Penny so far. Turn 1, Quick Silva. Turn 2, Penny or Kate if no 3. Cable if you do have a 3-drop. Turn 3, Coulson or Spider or Arrow +2. And how you decide that is basically you want to make sure you're drawing cards. So if Coulson's going to stop a draw and you don't have Wiccan, don't do it. If you can play Spider instead and get a draw, do that. Turn 4 is Wiccan or 2/2, or you can play the Coulson generated card. Turn 5 is you have basically Dino or Gore or Alith. You can also do Shang and Coulson here if you don't have any other really great plays. And turn 6 is the same as 5, but you can also Dino and Mystique, or you can have played Gore and then play Mystique and another card or whatever you want. Just crazy power. If you didn't play Coulson otherwise and you played Dino on 5, you can then Mystique and Coulson and get extra cards and a ton of power. This list is awesome. I really am going to need this to become a meta list, and people need to play it because it is very strong. And the Devil Dinosaur is back. Everyone's favorite Series 1 card. All right, so next up we have a Darkhawk version, which is pretty different from a pretty major content creator. But one last look at this. This is, again, I love this list. I don't want to mince words too much. I love this list. If you'd like to see gameplay for all these decks, outside of checking out these wonderful streamers, you can check out the stream team. GamingwithFlashX will be streaming sometime between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern tonight of these decks. All right, Bynx's Wiccanhawk is the Darkhawk version of this, and it's really cool. I thought this list worked very, very, very well, um, as well, and was one of the most successful versions I played. This one doesn't bother with either Quicksilver or Domino, saying if I run 3 1s, I should see a 1. If I run 3 2s, I should see a 2, and then all of those 2s let me run fewer 3s, but I'm still running 3 3s. This is just a very clear curve. The problem with this clear curve is you can be short top end. It feels like you need to see Darkhawk and Goliath to win. It's very, or you need to Wiccan and then just sort of go over the top. If you don't see that, this can have trouble. You can find Bynx playing this at twitch.tv/Bynx_plays. This needs Wiccan, Darkhawk, and Agony if you have Peni. Kate and Penny can be Cable or Mirage if you don't have one of them. Cassandra can be Mystique. If you do make Cassandra Mystique, make Goliath be Gore, please. And then suddenly you have more top end because you have the Mystique of top end. That's why I'm thinking that change makes sense here. If you don't have Penny or Agony, add Iceman in that extra 1-drop slot, or feel free to just like go Quicksilver and say, I'll deal with the rest of this later. All right, so Bynx also probably has a YouTube video on this. Let's not pretend he doesn't. So if you'd like to see Bynx play this, check it out. Turn 1 is Agony if you have Penny into a good ramp card, Maria if you don't have a 2, or Cork if you have a clear curve otherwise. Turn 2, Penny or Psylocke if you have Wiccan in hand, Penny being on Agony, or Rockslide. You're perfectly happy to ramp into Rockslide too. So turn 3, Wiccan over Rockslide, but you're again happy to ramp into Rockslide over Black Widow over Cassandra Nova. Turn 4, Wiccan over Rockslide. Turn 5, Darkhawk. Turn 6, Goliath. Win. Cool. It is really cool. And again, I'm going to try this slightly modified. I already had great success with it, but I'm going to cut Goliath and add Mystique and see if that gives me a little bit of extra play here. I bet you it does and makes this deck even better. After this, we're going to talk about the day one bounce, not bounce, yeah, sort of bounce move of the Penny Parker list that has the best stats so far and is the one that one of my creator friends is most excited about. So one last look at this from the great Bynx. Season Pass question. Want to win that Season Pass? What is your first impression before the pros tomorrow? Tomorrow I have a bunch of top 100 players giving first impressions of Penny Parker. We already have one of those coming up soon. What is your impression of Penny Parker? I.e., what do you think of Penny? I know what I think of Penny. I'm going to save it until tomorrow too. Ava's Penny Move Bounce. This is from the great Avazord. It is real cool. Oh my god, I don't know if I wrote the turn by turn for the last one because it feels like it was 17 hours ago, but we're going to do our best to get there. Okay. It is very late at night. I streamed for long enough for 2 of the 3 Twitch drops yesterday. Okay, so this is basically the move bounce. The move bounce cannot run Goliath because it needs to be able to play stuff at the end of the game, but it does often have extra energy. And so Ava decided to use Cosmo as your basic counter for the extra bad bullshit that could happen. So if you think your opponent's going to shang you, if they're like snapping and staying, the only reason they could do that is they're shanging or shadow kinging, well, you have a Cosmo and you just say no thank you. This version does run Falcon over Toxin. I don't know which I prefer, honest to God. And Frigga's here because you only have 3 bounce payoff cards, but those 3 bounce payoff cards are made better by Frigga. Multiple Man, by the way, could be the 4th bounce payoff, but that would not be a move bounce because Multiple Man requires a lot of board space. You can find Ava streaming at twitch.tv/Avazord. This deck needs Aranya, Ghost Spider, and Madam Web. Penny and Frigga are in no way requirements. Doctor Strange, Toxin, Agent Venom, US Agent are all possible changes. Ava messaged me cold. I got home from taking my son to piano, and I had a message from Ava that was, I love this card so much, all caps. So that is our pro feedback from Avazord. He dominated with this. He also has another really cool deck. We'll get to it in the next day or two with the card. Turn 1 Aranya, turn 2 Madam Web over Penny, over Move Torch twice, and over set up a vulture move. Set up a vulture move just means drop Iron Fist. Turn 3 is that vulture move. Or if you move Torch twice, you can bounce Torch. Or you can do one last move of Torch and prep for Spider. You can get Torch alone in order to Spider it on turn. So if you go, I guess that would change things too, right? I don't think I realized this consciously until right this second, but if you have Torch in hand and you have Penny in hand, you can go Torch, Penny, Spider on curve, which is actually really strong. All right, turn 4, copy with Copycat, whichever card, or move into a bounce position. Um, turn 5 is bounce, and then turn 6 is replay all your movers. And that's it, you win. This deck puts out stupid power. Um, I'm just going to note one more time. If you go Human Torch, right? Human Torch into Penny Parker into drop Spider on Human Torch into move Human Torch. Now you have a 110 and you frigate. Now you have two 110s. That seems good. I miss Doctor Strange a lot when playing this list, so I played this too. I lost a couple games. Some games I should have lost. Some games I shouldn't. So what happened is I've played a ridiculous amount of the Sizer move bounce, and this is not the Sizer move bounce. In particular, the big difference is there's no Doctor Strange. And I kept playing for there to be a Doctor Strange that wasn't there, and it really caused me a lot of trouble. Cosmo would have won a few games that I just didn't draw him, but what I really needed was Doctor Strange because it existed in my head but not in the deck. Oopsie. All right. Claws for Celebration is the bundle in the shop currently. It is $24.99. It is about 200% progress value. That is a lot of progress value. That is what we consider a very good bundle. Just a note on Marvel Snap Zone's bundle guides, 170% is about good enough to get, but not good. 200% is very good. Anything above 200% is great. So this is a very good bundle, especially if you have use for those 2,000 tokens. However, if you don't have Zabu, you're probably not going to ever get him at a better rate than this. You basically get a Series 4 card and an extra Series 4 card for 25 bucks. They keep trying to sell us these for like 50 bucks alone, just the Series 4 cards. Getting a Series 4 card plus an extra Series 4 card for 25 bucks is an amazing deal. If you don't have Zabu, this is must buy. If you do have Zabu, this is still a very good buy, but not a requirement. Finally, we're going to finish with Desmond Surfer. I swear I didn't write a turn by turn for this. I didn't write a turn by turn for this. Damn it, brain. All right. Sorry, I was streaming and then I got distracted with questions of the day. My bad. I can talk us through what to do. No worries. This is just this is basically perfect. I think this is almost perfect as far as this goes. So you can find Desmond playing this at youtube.com/@DesmondKorea. This deck needs both Zabu and Sebastian Shaw. Galacta or Gwenpool should be here. The other one can be whatever 3-drop. Hope can be Sarah if you don't have Hope. And Copycat and Cassandra can be Red Guardian, Gladiator, Rogue. Again, pick your threes. Now, I would really like Red Guardian in this probably more than Cassandra Nova, and I also think Makari likely has a really good home here. Your turn 1 play is Zabu. Your turn 2 play is almost always Forge. You want to Forge into Brood or Forge into Shaw. You are also perfectly willing to Forge into Hope because you can't always, with Galactic and Gwenpool in, ever get Forge out otherwise. Cool? So what you want to do is get Forge out. Then you want to play Hope if possible. You will play Brood or Shaw, although I suggest holding one of them for Galactus/Gwenpool. Turn 3 is meant to be that. You are also fine if you don't have that playing Cassandra Nova. Copycat, it depends what it is. I would never cold play Shaw or cold play Brood without the Forge here with both Galactic and Gwenpool in deck. I will play Juggernaut if I have no other options, but I'd really rather not. So turn 4 is meant to be Galacta or Gwenpool. You're choosing between the two for this list. You almost never play both. Although, yeah, just basically never. So you want to play Galacta, right? On that Hope. And then the next turn you want to play 2 threes. You want to play something like Cassandra Nova and Brood or Copycat and Sebastian Shaw. You want to get one of those two out. Make sure you play the one you want the power on with the power. There is a bit of confusion here because it's really you can't unless you only play Brood, then only play Absorbing Man, you're not going to get the big Brood and big Absorbing Man buff from Galacta, which is fine. The way you can accomplish that is you go Hope into Gwenpool not on Hope into Brood on Hope not, excuse me, Galactodon on Hope, into Brood on Hope, and then you're going to get that trigger, and then because you brooded on Hope, you can then Absorbing Men in another non-Galacta lane, and then play Surfer in the Galacta lane, and that ends up working out well enough as far as making sure that everything triggers. The other way you do that is you can go turn 5 if you don't have Hope, Forge into Brood, and play that Forge in the Galacta lane, and then you just have a world-beatingly large Brood. All good? All good. That's the turn by turn basically, right? Turn 6 you play Surfer and Absorb Man, or Surfer and Juggernaut. Then you win. This list is awesome. This is a meta list. People are treating it like it's not, but Silver Surfer right now is absolutely a meta list. So turn 1 Zabu again, the clear easy way. Turn 1 Zabu, turn 2 Forge, turn 3 Hope, um turn 4 Galacta or Gwenpool if you don't have it. Turn 5 if you've got Hope, 2 threes. If not, Forge and 3. Um, turn 6 Surfer and Juggernaut, or Surfer and Absorbment. The end. Win your games. Have a great day. Questions of the day. So Werewolf asked about Series 3 replacement. It reminded me of something. If you are not done with Series 3, I cannot build decks for like this whole channel if you if you're in the middle of Series 3, because everyone's Series 3 journey is so different that it's fundamentally impossible for me to look at Series 3 and figure out what you have and don't have, and as compared to other people. So I'd be building a deck just for you, which doesn't make sense for a video. However, I have a Discord. It's the Snap Judgments League Discord. You should 100% hop on the Snap Judgments League Discord. Cool? Once you hop on that Snap Judgments League Discord, I'm Pulse Glazer on there, just like I am on Twitch, just like my handle on everything. Message me. Shoot a message. We'll even make a channel for it if enough of you do it. And you can send me your Series 3 collection, and I'll happily help you try and build. I'll build you at least 4 or 5 decks, probably more than that, of Series 3 decks, and I'll even tell you what to target with your spotlights and boosters so that you can build more and more decks. Cool? So if you're in the middle of Series 3, please do let me know. Unibot asked my goals for 2025, personal and Snap content. So I'm going to start with Snap content. I think I'm going to try for 25,000 subs um, on YouTube. I'm also going to, I've got a small Twitch goal. I'm going to try and start to average 100 viewers when I stream. I don't know if I can do it because Snap streaming isn't huge, but I'd like to average 100 viewers on Twitch. If you would hit me up, give me a follow on twitch.com/pulseglazer. I'd appreciate that. So that's my two big Snap content goals. I don't have any real gameplay goals except to keep finding the game fun. My other goal, my personal goal for 2025 is fundamentally, I make making a lot of content look like it's not a ton of work sometimes, but it is, and I think I need to do a slightly better job of balancing my work and my Marvel Snap work, and like I've still got time for my family. I'm not like taking time away from my family, but I need to do a better job of like figuring out how to balance that without losing out. And my goal is to really work on that and figuring out what the right ratio is for myself. Cool. Please let me know your goals in the comments too. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks, and it's 2 in the morning, so I'm going to go very fast here. Thank you to Abigail Gieslim, Mentor Burnout, Eric Garlers, David G. Wingfield, Dirty Casual, Danton, LAB, FaThorNewman, Good Dog Gamer, Inc., I am Frostman, Jane Everett, Thinking Poker, Prime Brian, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood, Caretix Lee, Quire Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Prayer Frost, The Goat Seeker, Hollowed, Quid Pro Joe, Snap, Decisions Joe, Fat Nick, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Candy Loggins of the Danger Zone, Rob Silverman, The Bizza, Black Jeebus 23, Exorcy, and Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Tommy Nyquist, King of Bros, Great Kazoo, Kepsi Hoda, Ludacris, Corbin, John Q, Jim McHugh, Glam, Colonel Forbin, Gistout, 8th Sage, Models Mod Supreme, The Green Goblin, Unibot, Flan, 56, Stephen, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B, J.D. McDonaldino, The Fuzzy Now, Spectrum Mix, Oot, Matt H, DJ Micah Hijix, No Flex, Ocularis, Mr. Craig Sterry, BG, Zodrex, The King Canada, The Man Falcon, Jonesy, Two Ties, The Great Lord of the Breaking Tucker, and of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for, oh shit, I got a tournament to announce tomorrow. If you're free Friday night, we got a cash money tournament that you don't want to miss. Check out the sub right there in the middle of the screen, left video, if you want some patch data mine reviews. Right video if you want to see the #1 deck of Marvel Snap. That's it. Peace.